Well, that was a good warm up. Good warm up. We live, baby. It's the All American Prepper coming at you from the bunker with real OG NYC Prepper in the house. My true brother from another mother.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. I'm just going to wait for some people to come into the chat.
Ah, they'll come in. They'll come in. They'll just have to catch a rewatch. They missed the party. You know that's so. They're just fashionably late. But what I'm doing right now, man, I'm just getting my house in order. Dude, I don't want no war. I don't want this war, but us citizens, we can't control that shit. That's out of our control. All we can do is take care of ours and, our own. And so, like, right now, I got a lot of prep and shit. I'm getting my house in order, you know, organization where you know where everything is. So I'm right now, and we're gonna get a bad. Hey, Tamara, we're gonna get a. I predict Florida, no such thing anybody ever heard of. We're gonna get a Category 6 hurricane this year. But so, like, you see, I got these glasses on. These are ballistic glasses, not regular glasses. For one thing, that light, I don't know how people do that shit with the light in their eyes, but I can't do it. And another thing, these, guarding your eyes when shit's going down, hurricane, anything, that's important. Glasses, keeping your damn eyeball getting poked out.
They also look good on you, Ernie. Did you hear me? He froze. All right. Here we are, guys, live from All American Prepper. And we're just waiting for Mr. All American Prepper to unfreeze here. Anyway, I'm not even sure if I'm on the live or has it turned off. Not sure. So just going to keep on talking. I want to show you guys how you like it. I love Rocky. I do. I love all the Rocky movies. You know, uh, it's just like the comeback of Rocky. That's what matters. So beautiful about the movies. Anyway, I'm live here by myself on All American Prepper's channel. We're waiting for All American Prepper to come back, and when he gets back, I will be talking about self-defense. So I'm just waiting for him to get back because I don't want to get into it without him. And the importance of self-defense. I don't think we have to go through that. We all know the importance of self-defense. The world is crazy now. There are riots, protests, riots, whatever you want to call them, all throughout the country. And guess what? They're going to be more and more and more as the summer goes on. And they're going to get worse and worse and worse. This is just the beginning. And I don't know what happened here to I'm the guest. Oh, God. Let me see here. I can't even read the chat to see if I'm live or not. And I see something from people in the chat here, but it's very, very small to me. Chat. All right. How about this? Uh, keep our heads swivel. There he goes. He's back on. Hey,
Yeah,
guys,
I don't know what happened, brother. I don't know what, but hey, just do your thing, man. You're a belle of the ball, brother. And everybody, listen, subscribe to this man's channel.
Now this is a double live.
Yeah,
Hey, Ernie, guess what?
yeah, brother.
I'm live on my channel, recording this live. This is a double live.
Ah, boom, boom. That's right.
How do you like that, baby?
I
A
love
double
it.
live.
Well, look
But
here.
guess
I'm gonna
what?
give.
I'm not going to be able to hold the camera. If you guys could do me a favor, everybody who's on my channel, if you could go on All American Prepper's channel, I'd appreciate that. Because I'm scheduled to be on his channel, so I'm going to turn this off and go back on his channel. Thank you guys for being here, and I hope you go on his channel, okay? All American Prepper.
All American Prepper, y'all, come on, OG.
All right. See you guys later.
Jay, hey, Holly.
Thank you, Holly. Holly says she will.
Awesome.
All right, hang on.
Girl,
I'm gonna turn this off. Bye.
Oh man, glad we're back in action. So yeah, let's see some self-defense stuff. You know, like right now, I was showing. You know, I got prescription glasses. You know, so and I have all my glasses are ballistic glasses. You know, but you know, just in regular everyday prepping, you need extra glasses. You need to make sure all your batteries are good and your flashlights, you know. And if they ain't, you know, if the batteries go bad in your flashlight and you neglect it, the batteries will literally ruin your flashlight. And just, this is cheap. This is just cheap, bottom of the barrel, night vision. But, you know, it's a force multiplier to where you can literally see in the dark with a couple of battery, you know, and these are $100 and something at Walmart. You can order them. But, you know, I'm just going over checking all my equipment and stuff. Just getting ready, man. Getting my house in order, you know. Getting prayed up, brother. Reading the scripture. But, yeah, let's see. Man, I saw your self-defense moves. And me, self-defense is huge when it comes into prepping and everyday life. You know, I got stories I can tell where people try to rob me and end up battling for their ass because I am trained. And OG is fast. So OG, show them some stuff, man.
All right, I'm saying I'm supposed to be able to turn this camera around. I'm supposed to press the button. Let me see here.
Put him on big screen.
All right. I collected here a little collection of stuff that I always carry with me for self-defense when I'm in a dangerous environment, and even when I'm not, it's always with me in case I end up in a dangerous environment. And so I lost Ernie again. I hope that this is
No, let me.
Are you still there?
I'm here, brother.
All right, good. So
I just gave you a full screen so everybody can see what you got.
All right, cool. I believe that most people, just about everyone, all right, who isn't a sane mind, good people who want to defend themselves, who want to defend their lives in the crazy streets that are happening now all throughout the United States, okay? I believe that everyone should carry an equalizer.
Okay? Yes, now, I agree absolutely, X.
All right, now, as far as an equalizer, this, poo, bang, bang, whatever you want to call it, bang, bang. You can't carry that everywhere you go. That's number one.
Roger that.
Number two, if you get, let's say you get a couple of kids are trying to mug you, teenagers, are you going to actually pull that and kill them because you can't fight, because you never trained, because you don't have anything else, you don't have another equalizer with you to help you? That's a mistake, because you will end up.
I don't mean to interrupt you. But I just want to interject on that. You know, I've noticed these little gangbangers and all, you know, I train MMA. I go up there and they come in and I'm like the Matt Forcer, you know, when they mishandle people. But, you know, there's a lot of situations, man, where that thing ain't going to work, and you got to go. You got to go. You may have to defend yourself before you can get to your pew pew. So you
And
got to
most
be
of the
able to defend
cases,
yourself.
and most of the time, that's the case. Most
Yep.
of the time, that is the case. And besides that, let's say you get caught in the middle of a protest, and that protest turns into a riot, and you have to escape from there. Are you going to shoot your way out of there? You can't do that stuff. There's a lot of times you can't. All right, so we all know that you can't just all the time. For all of you guys who live in a liberal state, which I wish I was there with you. I was born and raised in New York. I love New York State. I love the land in New York State. I love the mountains. I love living up here in the mountains. I love it. I used to love the city, right? But I don't love our laws over here. I don't like our government here. It's terrible. It's probably the worst in the country, if you ask me. Someday I might make a move, but right now I'm here. So if I'm traveling, the other day I was down there at the protest with thousands and thousands and thousands of people around me. It took me 1 hour to get out of the crowd. I was stuck in the middle of the crowd. I'm trying to weave my way out of there. That was a dangerous situation because if something would have happened and you would have gotten stampeded down, it's very dangerous to be in those places. Anyway, I'm going to show you guys some of the stuff that I carry all the time, everywhere I go. And the number one thing that I always carry is this here. It's a flashlight. I use this flashlight as a kubotan. A kubotan is an ancient Japanese dowel piece of stick that's about 6 inches long that would fit into your hand like this, and it would extrude out of your hand. So when you attack and you hit somebody with the dowel, you will do some damage, right? But this does even more damage. Flashlight, okay? Very, 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 very useful tool. You can carry this anywhere you go. Ladies, you should carry this. Why? Because if you have no choice, if you grab your, you get this in your hand and you hit somebody because they're attacking you, some guy's trying to force you, you will knock them out with this. With your hand, you're not going to do nothing. He's going to laugh at you, okay? Not for nothing. Even most men could punch a guy in the face. And if that guy, his intent is serious, he's going to follow through, all right? So you really need to take him out. So flashlight, I always carry a flashlight. Ladies and some gentlemen, why do I carry this? Pepper gel, mace. Not only do I carry one peppermint, but I actually carry 2 of them. See? Everywhere I go, I got 2 of them. All right. In my winter coat, I have 1 in each pocket. Well, you know why? I have 2 hands. And you know why? There might be 2 opponents or multiple opponents. One might not work. So I carry 2. This is pepper gel. You don't want the spray. You want the gel. Because the spray will spray back into your face.
I use both.
Yeah, I actually have both.
Situational. Because indoors, there's no wind. And this,
exactly.
If I want everybody out of the club, I just walk through the club and spray the whole damn club. And it runs them out like spraying raid and cockroaches, man.
That's true. I got this one here as a bear spray. That also stays in my truck. I actually have 2 bear sprays, one on a walking stick and one in my vehicle right there. And these 2, my flashlight. And here goes a useful weapon that nobody ever thinks of that I carry all the time. The carpenter's pencil. You can buy it for 15 cents. That's a nice knife. You can buy it for 15 cents in Home Depot or wherever. And you sharpen that pencil, and this here becomes a kubotan. This won't break. I've tried this on the bags. I've hit it full force on the bag, and it will not break.
That's a good, yes.
Yes, this will not break.
That's a great idea, and it's not considered a weapon.
See that?
That would mess somebody up. People would underestimate that too.
Yep, I love that pencil. I have a whole bunch of them. I bought like $3 worth of them, and they're all over the place. And as far as knives, I'm going to show you guys another thing here. Back in the 70s, there was a wrestler, WWE wrestler, Mr. Fuji. I don't know if you guys remember Mr. Fuji, but that was a long, long time ago. And Mr. Fuji, he was a slick dude. And what he would do is he would have a bag like this of probably, it was just talcum powder, right, back then. And he would open it up with his one hand and throw it at his opponent and blind him. Well, this here is a bag of salt, cayenne pepper, flour, because you want that powder, you want the powder. And anyway, this thing here, it's a lot of cayenne pepper and a lot of salt in here. If you you just keep this baby in your pocket and make sure you don't open it up in your pocket, but you can actually puncture it with one finger, have it in your hand, and this might be enough just for you to escape. All right. Knives, I normally carry, in New York, you cannot carry this. You can't have a folding knife like this in New York City. Up here in the country, they don't mess with you so much, right? It doesn't matter up here. But in the city, you cannot go, you'll go to jail if you have this. It has to be under 3 inches, and if it's a folding knife, it cannot lock. I don't even think you can get folding knives that don't lock any longer. So that's what the requirements are in New York. But forget about this. So
that's why I live in Florida, baby. That's why I live in Florida.
That's right. I hear you. But up here, it's a different story. So what I do is, it doesn't matter. I don't need that big knife, okay? I carry this little 2.5-inch blade neck knife underneath my shirt.
Hey.
See how fast I pull that out? Because I have a lanyard. And all I have to do is grab it and pull it, and it's in my hands already.
OG.
Nobody knows it's there. So
OG.
Yeah.
Let me give you a tip. See,
yeah.
You know I work as a bouncer, okay? So it's my job. It's my job to pat people down and check them.
Yep.
And only bouncers that I train and me, I have never seen any other security check for a neck knife. Never. But I do, and my guys pat. So if you need to get by security, 99.9% of the time, they're not going to check for a damn neck knife. Now, I would recommend to change that paracord out for these. Reason being, these can break, okay? Mm-hmm. If I see the paracord around someone's neck, I know 2 things. They got a neck knife, okay? Because paracord, neck knife. I know that. I work security. 2, that paracord, I can get a hold of that paracord and choke your ass out. So, but yeah, this is my EDC. This is my EDC right here too. It's a neck knife. So yeah. I'm
brother,
giving it back to you,
I will be changing this immediately today. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Because 100%, you are right.
Right. I learned everything the hard way, so don't ask me how I know about that shit. But
no, it makes sense.
There's a reason why I changed up.
You want that to snap off. And the other thing is you can just pull it out. It's easier for myself to grab it and put it in my hands. That's a great idea, brother.
And I got 2 of them on there just to be extra strong, but it'll still break before I could get choked out.
Nice.
If I see somebody with paracord, I can grab that paracord and choke their ass out. They're going to sleep, Bubba.
Wait a minute. Took it off.
But with this, though, but most people don't know that. Only people watching this, only the people that are blessed by Heavenly Father watching this knows this information, because this is, everything you show, this is what I carry too. I carry this. You shine it in their eyes. You beat the hell out of them with it. And it's like us OGs, we'd put a roll of quarters in our hands. That's just like a roll of quarters too. Pop, pop, pop. And these things, these EDC lights, they're rigid, man, where they'll tear your ass up. And you blind the fool. He can't see shit. And, so, all right, I'm giving it back to you, man. You got me worked up, bro.
Well, and besides all of this stuff here, just a regular bag of tools. Right? I keep a small bag of tools right there on the passenger seat with a hammer and the pipe wrench, because I'm a plumber, right? So I have tools that you can use as self-defense. In my truck, I carry 2 crowbars, not for self-defense, in case I need it in an emergency. If I have to try to break somebody out of their car in case there's an accident or something like that. But yes, if I do grab one of those crowbars, whatever you can grab to defend yourself, you might have to do it, right? So the other thing that I love, of course, is the cane. I have a whole bunch of canes in my truck.
What's this?
And I'm an older man. Here goes. This is one that I made myself. And the cane is a great self-defense tool. You have 3 feet of extension on the cane, plus 2 feet with your arms. That's 5 feet of the length of extension that you can defend yourself with a cane. But you need to practice with all this stuff. Everything that I have here on the table, unless you practice with it, don't even carry it, because they're going to take it away from you. They're going to take it away from you, and you're going to get hurt. All right? Now, nowadays, things are really so bad that you have to become, and this is especially for the ladies, okay? You have to become vicious. If some guy's trying to manhandle you, if some guy's trying to hurt you, and God forbid even try to rape you, something like that, you have to become vicious. Don't freeze. Don't become a target. You have to be like a cat. What do you think a cat would do? Just a little cat. A cat against a big giant guy. Let's say a guy like Brock Lesnar, a big humongous guy. All right? And that cat goes for his face and starts clawing and ripping and tearing into his face, into his eyes. What do you think he's going to do? He has to go on the defensive no matter what. And the same thing with a woman. You see these nails that you have? That's the best weapon that you have, is them nails. That's your best weapon. Okay? Use the deception of weakness as your strength. Okay? If some guy's mounted on top of you, he grabs you, he throws you on the ground. I'm talking. I have a daughter who's a beautiful lady. She's in her 30s, very, very beautiful. She's single. She's by herself, and she lives in Brooklyn. And I worry about her all the time. But if somebody does that to you, forget about all these self-defense videos that you watch on YouTube with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and they're doing this and that, and they're lifting their hips, and they're throwing the guy back over, and they're mounting on top of the guy. None of that's going to work. Okay, I'm telling you, what you need to do is you need to go for the eyes. You need to dig your fingers deep into his face, deep into the eyes. There's two targets that you're going for. It's the eyes and the throat. The throat. The throat. Even if you're a female, even if you're a small person, you know what they do? All these young kids, they spend thousands. Their parents spend thousands of dollars for Taekwondo classes, thinking that these kids are going to be able to defend themselves. That's a beautiful idea. And guess what? It's not going to work. It's not going to work because a large man will overpower a child no matter what kind of self-defense they learn. It's not going to work in the streets. You have to become vicious, okay? And that's why I'm telling you, there's two targets. It's the eyes and it's the throat. And what I would recommend is for people to buy themselves a bag like this.
Do it again.
All right. This is a BOB, B-O-B, body opponent bag. And with this bag, as you can see, the face is right there. And you can practice with this bag things that you cannot practice with a regular bag like this. Like this. But with this one here, watch. You can practice. Claw to the eye. Ripping.
Yes.
Ripping. Close to the eyes. You see how I came up with the forearm? And back down with it. Okay. Here's another thing. You grab them from the back. And I can't show you, but because I only have two hands. But if you anchor the person from the back and you're attacking that person with the eyes, and you're ripping through him, and you're ripping, and you're attacking the eyes, and ripping, and biting him. If you have to. He's going to run for the hills. That's what's going to happen. Because no human being could withstand an attack, a vicious attack to the eyes. No human being. They will fall to their knees. They will do this. They will run away no matter how big they are. And so, unfortunately, I know it sounds gruesome and extreme, but if you want to save your ass, you want to save your life, a lot of crazy people in the world, keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind, okay? And that's all I want to say. Cardio, please, no bully. Cardio to run away and get out is super important. Okay, yeah, you're right. Cardio is important, but guess what? Some people can't run. And even people who can run. Did you ever see cops running after criminals? They always catch them. They catch them eventually. All right? So that, running away might not be an option. You might be in a building. You might be in a store, and you cannot run away, and you have to defend yourself.
You can be pent up against your car at a gas station. Now, me, if I'm pumping gas and somebody tries me, first thing I'm gonna just pull that gas nozzle out and I'm gonna hose their ass down with gas. Then I'm gonna pull out a cigarette lighter out of my pocket because that's part of my ADC and go, do you really want to do this?
Yep, I've actually seen that. Some guy used the hose on three guys and they ran like hell. And
that's because, man, your ass is light out like a Roman torch with any spark.
Yeah. You got whatever it takes, whatever it takes. But you have to always be aware. You have to run scenarios through your mind. I do that all the time. If I'm on a subway and I'm sitting down, I run a scenario in my mind. I say, what if somebody, he comes right through that door and he comes right at me? What am I going to do? And I already know what I'm going to do because I ran that scenario on my mind. And on top of that, you need to practice, guys. That's the bottom line. If you don't practice, even, go to some kind of a martial arts training school or whatever. It's good. It's good. At any age, it doesn't matter. I mean, All-American Prepper, he's an OG and he's still doing MMA. And I'm an OG and you see me out here kicking and punching. So at any age, no one in this chat has stronger grip strength than me. Probably not, my man. Man of integrity. Probably not, brother. I'm lucky. Oh, that's my man, Moose Man. Former police officer, now retired, can carry my 45 concealed. That's nice, Moose Man.
Yeah, and I use those hand workout things. You know, you can buy them. You squeeze, because your grip. That if I was going to start trying, look at them guns on OG, and he's
What do you think?
Fast. I've seen you. You're fast, brother. You're fast, and you guys. But those hand grips, man. That's why I start with them, because you want that GI Joe grip.
Yeah, they're great.
For weapon retention, that way, you got that grip, so there's nobody taking that from you, and when we're talking about lights, a lot of security when I'm working as a bouncer or whatnot, a lot of them will carry these big lights. Well, before they came out with these batons, there's a reason why the Popo carried them big ass mag lights, because you got out of line and they'd beat the crap out of you with them things. And
I have one in my truck. I have one. And
that right there, and then like you said, a tire tool. What? Man, I used to bounce at one bar, and there's more tire tools thrown on that roof than I probably $100 in scrap metal if I was climbing there and throw all tire tools that's been used and then throw it on the roof to get the hell out. When the Popo come. But
a person who happens to be in decent shape, who has some strength to them, they can use anything as an improvised weapon. Basically anything. I don't care what it is. First thing I can grab. Good day, everybody. Survival. Hey, look at that beautiful little puppy.
Hey, and look, he gifted 6 memberships. Appreciate that, man.
There you go.
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah, are you still training, Ernie?
Oh yeah, yes I am. I'm always training, man. That takes a lot of my time. But what I have found out is, no matter how busy you are, you gotta make time. And if it's important to you, then you'll make time. Because, I hear people all the time saying, oh, I just ain't got time. I just ain't got time. And I love it when it's a man that says that. I go, oh, so when you was a teenager, and there was some girl, you freaking made it happen. You made time. You just got to have that same motivation. You made time then. Why can't you make time now? Because you don't have the drive. You really don't want to do it. You got to make time. And so I just squeeze it in, man. And I train out there at Airsoft. Like, you see me do that. And you did great out there, bro. I was very proud of you. But, and then I train up there at Champions MMA. Matter of fact, I'm going to start loading some videos. See, my internet, I can't record up there because I run off internet. I don't have a regular phone or anything. Just my wife does. But I'm fixing to get one, as soon as I can afford one. And I'm going to start having videos of me training and showing, because I'm 57 years old, man. And I'll have videos of me up there mopping 20 years old, mopping the floor with them, dude. Just because. And I love it because they go, oh, I want to grapple that old guy over there. And I'm sitting there like, oh, okay. And they come in, gangster thug. That's why these gangster thugs be shooting people, because they don't know how to fight, dude. I be grappling some big jack guys with dreadnoughts. And just, they don't know how to fight. They're strong and all, but, that's strength is a big part of fighting. That's facts. Nevertheless, that finesse, that knowing what the hell to do, literally, which been there, done that, got a t-shirt, just handle them and, and then they're knocked down. That old man, even my coach is like, bro, he's new, take it easy on him. And I'm like, I don't know.
You have to practice. It's like what Bruce Lee said. I don't fear a man who has thrown 1,000 kicks. I fear a man who's thrown one kick 1,000 times. You got to practice. I practice every day. Every day. All right? I will tell you guys how old I am. 65. I don't like telling my age because it's freaking old as shit. But guess what? At my age, I'm faster now than ever in my life.
And you
I'm
fast,
faster.
dude. You faster than these young
And,
bucks. I've seen your speed.
and I'll tell you one of the reasons why I'm so fast. Because I practice my technique every day and because I do isometrics. Isometrics grows the muscles that you need to throw punches fast. I learned that from Bruce Lee. Okay. And that's why Bruce was so big on isometrics. And when I'm lifting weights, sometimes I'll hold that weight. And the guys in the gym, they're looking at me, they're saying, what the hell? Look at the old timer. He's just holding it there for about 3 minutes without moving. And I'm like, and I'm breathing, I'm holding it in place. And isometrics helps to grow the ligaments. And that's why you grab speed.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It strengthens the ligaments. It gives you speed. Because you can get big and jacked, but if you're not strengthening your ligaments and stuff, that's how those big jack guys always tear their shoulders and shit, the rotary cups and all, because
Absolutely.
they haven't strengthened their tendons.
Yep. And then another thing I do is a
Yoga,
lot
man.
of
I
stretching.
do yoga, dude. I do yoga. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, you gotta stretch. And stretching is the most important thing. You have to stretch your upper body and lower body every day. Every day, not once or twice a week. You gotta do it every day, especially when you get old, like myself, like us. The older you get, stretch. It's gonna help you throughout the day. You're gonna relieve your pain. I still have pain in my legs, guys, you know. And I fell 7 stories, in case anybody doesn't know here. I actually fell 7 stories, broke my back, broke my neck, broke my back in 2 places, broke my neck, broke both elbows, dislocated my right arm. Doctor said I was never going to walk again. I spent 7 years in a wheelchair until 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I had a hip replacement, and now I am kicking the bag, and I'm punching, and I feel like a 20-year-old again. So, you know, never give up. You just never give up. You know.
Oh,
I
gee,
put out a video today.
Can you read that question? There's a question up there. I pulled up. Can you read that?
Have you sparred recently with any well-known person? OG. No. And the reason why is because I'm up here by myself, and I'll tell you the truth. I practiced by myself. I was a black belt at the age of 18. I started when I was 12 years old. Every day from 12 to 18, I went to karate classes. Every day. I was my teacher's protege. Okay, I was the original Karate Kid. I was the East Coast champion in the juniors division. That was my life. Karate, 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 karate. And recently, I decided to join a local martial arts studio close to where I live because I want to spar with people. But when I got there, and this is a Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, they teach all kind of stuff in this place, right? It's a pretty big place. I didn't see anybody who could actually spar with me, honestly. And I haven't been in the ring since I was a long, long time ago. So I decided to not go through with the classes at this place because they're not going to teach me anything that I don't already know. And half the stuff that they were teaching is all bullshit. It's not going to work in the streets. What I practice now is, all right, if you guys want to learn how to defend yourselves in the street, take my word for it. There's this guy, his name is Sammy Franco. All right? And I'm going to shout out Sammy Franco. It's the art that he teaches is called contemporary fighting arts. Sammy Franco, just like that. You could find him on YouTube. All right? I am his #1 supporter. I'm going down to Maryland very soon, and he's going to train me. Train me. I had a black belt back in 1978. He's going to train me, okay? This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is reality-based self-defense, real street self-defense. The other stuff's not going to work. Half the stuff's not going to work. And the other thing is you have to get in shape. Okay? If you're not going into a gym 3 times a week, you're doing yourself, forget about it, because you're not going to last. You're not going to last. First of all, Anybody who's not training constantly doesn't have confidence in themselves. They will freeze when somebody tries to attack you in the street or somebody pulls a knife out on you. Okay, they will freeze. Not me. I will react. I will totally react, and I have in the past because I train. I train every day. But to answer your question, no, I haven't sparred with anybody yet. I wish I had some locals over here. Anybody could come over here and we could throw down a little bit. And
I spar 3 times a week, but you know, babe, can you put this on? I spar 3 times a week with professional MMA fighters, and I hold my own, man. Those guys are quite impressed. That's why when the young guys come in, and something else I want to say too, unarmed and helpless is unarmed and helpless, and I will never understand that. Okay, and being armed doesn't mean you necessarily have to have a pew-pew. Up close, that thing he's holding in his hand and he just sit down works great. And it's a multitasker, you know. My self-defense blade that I carry, I don't let people, because everybody knows I got a knife, I don't let people cut wire or boxes or, no, I carry another knife for that. My self-defense knife is always razor sharp. And who's a knife expert? Even a 4-year-old kid knows how to cut a steak. So it really don't take much. And especially if you know where that I have pronunciation problems because I had to hit the femoral artery in that leg. You hit that with a blade, they got 3 minutes. And if they ain't put a tourniquet over it, they're done. But if you're not confident with a knife and you have a choice, no matter what size, say if you're not good with a sword or a knife, use an axe. Because all you got to do is just chop. I mean, you know, so if someone's trained or confident with a sword, I got a sword for you. Here, take this, and we're going to go fight the Battle of Armageddon for Jesus, baby. But, you know, if they're not trained, you know, in the art, then just a good old axe, man. You know, keep like that beside your bed. If you're somewhere where you can't have a pew-pew or nothing, you know, for that bump in the night, you got it right there beside your bed. That and your flashlight, so you blind them with the flashlight, and then you go to work.
well, look, I'm trained, and if somebody pulls a knife out on me, I'm going to try to walk away from that. I'm going to try my best to walk away because a knife's going to kill you, or I'm going to have to kill that person. Now he just put an ultimatum. I'm going to have to kill him before he kills me. All right, and I really don't want to kill somebody now. But if somebody pulls a knife on me, remember, I always have 2 bottles of mace with me. Always. I always have my cane with me. Always. I always have my neck knife. I always have my flashlight with me. I have something. And I also have my training, of course. But if somebody does pull a knife out on me, I'm going to say, hey, you know what? In any case, if anybody starts any type of predicament with me, the first thing I'm doing is I'm stepping back and I'm saying, hey, buddy, you're right. I'm wrong. I'm sorry. Take it easy. I'll become a pussy. And I'm going to say, goodbye. I take it easy. I'm leaving. Goodbye. Now, should he force the issue, then he's in trouble because once he's within my range, I'm attacking first. I always attack first. Never wait for an opponent. All this bullshit that they teach you, Aikido, you wait for somebody to throw a punch and you do this and that. No. The moment you are within my range, and my range is my legs. Most people's range is only their arms because they don't know how to kick. Right, but my range is my leg. If you're within my kicking range, I'm breaking your kneecap. And with one kick, I can break anybody's kneecap. What's that say? Something about I do not dare to buy pew-pew or possibly harassed by this. Apparently, no. I hear you, brother. I hear you. You know, some people, you know, All American doesn't have any either. He doesn't rely on them. You know, you got to do what you got to do. Here in New Yorkistan, I live in New Yorkistan. It's very, nobody could have a gun. You can have a rifle and a shotgun, yes. Everybody has a rifle and a shotgun up here. And bow and stuff like that. As far as a small one, very difficult to obtain up here. Yeah. But the bottom line is you got to practice every day. I practice every single day. I'm 65 years old. I never stopped. Even when I was in a wheelchair for 7 years, I practiced. People thought I was nuts. My ex-wife, she thought I was nuts. What is that, a bulb?
Yeah, man. You know, that way, you know, if you don't use a pew-pew, have you some kind of projectile self-defense. Because, you know, if I'm not going to war, it's just a couple of people coming at me on my property, and I got distance. You know how many deer I get with this thing and how many big 400 wild hogs with them suckers are hard to kill. But with this bow right here, and then, you know, if I hit them with the bow, when they go down, and they got a pew-pew, I'm doing a battlefield pickup. I'm taking their stuff. And if we're together, and it comes to that level, I got dibs on the wallet and the necklaces. I got dibs on the wallet and the chains.
Well, guess what? You and I have something in common, because you see that tree house behind me?
Yeah, yay.
I have a bow there, and I have 3 tree stands out here on my property. This is my property, guys. I have 3 tree stands with it out here on my property that nobody knows where they're at, and they all have bows in there right now. So if you come onto my property and I'm up in one of my tree stands, I'm watching you. So be careful. And this here is one of my tree stands here that I built.
Yeah, man. I mean, you want to come up?
I'm from New York, guys, but guess what? I get 3 deer every year. Last year, I got an 8-pointer, a 5-pointer, and a doe. Every year. I'm a lifetime hunter. I breathe, you know, I live and breathe hunting and fishing. That's me.
Yeah, you know, because that's free food, for one. And 2, it's clean food, because they ain't been no weird, you know what the hell they've been eating, you know, they ain't, you know. And, oh, geez, Jack, bro. And so it's clean food. And also hunting hones your skills for combat, really. I mean, whatever you're using, you know, I mean, like, I like to bow hunt. I like to bow hunt for many reasons, really. But one of the main reasons why I like to bow hunt is because if I'm in a stand like you got, well, for one, I'm going to be pouring corn out down there all year long. So the deer, you know, I fed them, so I get to eat them, right? You know, so all the vegans cannot freak out. I fed it. You know, I get to eat it. My prize. And you got to keep the herd managed, you know, because we done took all the predators. If there was no hunting season, the deer would be overpopulated and they will all starve. That's the way it works, man.
Yeah, unfortunately, up here, we're not allowed to. We're not allowed to bait in New York State. You can bait in New Jersey, which is right down the block from where I live, but not in New York. You're not allowed. But yeah.
But what I mean, when you're not hunting, though.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's say it's the shit hit the fan, and we're at the end now. All the hunters, everybody's going to go out to the woods, and everybody's going to try to hunt the deer. So they're going to. There's
going to be more people out there to be food than there is going to be freaking animals. So you might have to rethink that. You know.
Yeah, at that point, you're not hunting. Because what you're doing is they'll be doing drives. They'll be driving the deer from one point to the other and just shooting them down. All right. And then all the other deer, the smart deer, they're going to lock down. They're going to hide into the thickest place, and you're not going to see them. They're going to stay there. What happens then, at that point, you better learn how to trap. Because trapping is the way to go. You're hunting 24 hours a day, and you don't need to be there. You need to learn to trap. Hunting's not going to help you when the shit hits the fan. It'll help me maybe the first week, but that's it.
Also, for those deers that become impossible to get, go after them with one of these at night, because when it's a grid down and it's a dog eat dog, you'll shine that deer and see that eye, and he'll stand still so you can harvest him. But you can only do that in a grid down situation, or or you can do like me and get caught in Cedar Rapids with a 50 cal and a flashlight and get put on the front page of the newspaper. Yeah, that happened to me. Now, well, it is what it is, right? But now I know they'll be still with the light. And, that was in my younger days, but that's another way to get them when they're hard to get, but only when there's no rule of law, because you get caught doing that, you going under the jail.
I recommend everybody to learn to trap. Get yourself a few bear traps. Get yourself even a live trap, whatever kind. Learn to trap. You get foot traps, but you have to learn. Now, you need a license for this. So you have to take the trapper safety training course, just like if you took the hunter safety training course before. You take I have it. I'm a licensed trapper, and even for fish. If you think you're going to go out there with a fishing pole and you're going to fish and survive, that's not the way to do it. Not when the shit hits the fan, because it's dangerous to be in one spot all the time. So you need to learn to trap fish also. So yeah.
And bush hooks, a canoe with bush hooks, and also, like I showed the light, shining, which, people say, oh, all Americans a bad guy, that's unethical and all that. But in the grid down situation, man, you're going to do what you got to do. And yeah, I did get caught doing that when I was young, and ain't nobody on here can't say they ain't did some shit when they were young, so don't judge me. But the same thing with hunting deer with a person. You shine this light in their eyes, and they're blind. And in 3 or 4 or 5 seconds of their blindness, you can really do a lot of damage, or you can get a lot of distance. That's your choice. So definitely, man, carry a freaking tactical light for sure. Just like OG started out with, man. Really. Yeah. That's a must-have. That's my EDC. And then the necklace knife. Well, here we are. So OG knows what he's talking about, man. I work in security, and this is very effective. And that I call it the bug spray, that mace. That stuff works great. And then the bear spray, people to put down a bear.
Right. You use this flashlight in a hammer fist. So that's how you strike with this hammer fist. Okay, you're not going to do this. You're not going to get nobody like you. You have to learn how to hammer fist, and the hammer fist itself, by itself, is one of the most deadly strikes that you can do on an opponent. Why? Because if you come down on an opponent's bridge of the nose with your hammer fist, you're going to break that nose, okay, and you will definitely hurt that person. So yeah, the hammer fist is underrated, but it's probably one of my first moves that I would do to attack a person. Never try to punch people in the streets. Open hand. You're going to use palm strikes. You're going to use finger strikes, eye gouges. You're going to use palm strikes. Okay. You could use a reverse punch. I mean, not a reverse punch, a back fist. Okay. But punching this way, you're risking breaking your knuckles, your small knuckles, and hurting your wrist. Okay. So I've been punching for a long time. I punch these bags bare knuckled every single day with all my force, and I don't hurt myself because I practice. I know how to do it. But unless you're practicing, go out there, buy yourself a bag. When I didn't have a bag, I remember I'd make a bag. I'd grab a couple of pillowcases and I'd fill them up, and I'd make my own bag. You can make a target out of cardboard, and you hang that cardboard on the wall, double it up, triple it up, hang it nice and tight on the wall, and pop it and hit it. And just that little training helps, but you got to do it every day, though. You gotta do it every day. Lack of Lots of flashlights I have seen claim to be tactical, but they are large. Yes, I do not consider tactical unless they are sharp edges I can utilize. All right, that's cool. This one has a sharp edge, but let's say it didn't have a sharp edge. It's still a piece of metal. You know, extrude it from your hand like this, man. You can kill somebody. You have to be really careful. You hit somebody in the temple with this thing, you hit somebody in the top of the head or the back of the head. Okay, let's say they come down like this and you come in the back of the neck like this. You will kill that person. You will kill that person. There are many ways to kill a man with your hands. Okay, so you need to be careful. Same thing.
Look how worn. Look how many strikes. And look, I haven't struck no bags with this. This has all been human working as a bouncer strikes. And it is sharp. It's sharp. These things are sharp. And this is a Bushnell. Bushnell makes a great tactical flashlight. And I'm not getting paid for it, but
Opus.
Yeah, that's a good one too. That they're both good. And you know what? A $3 knife or a $300 knife or a $3,000 knife will unalive you just as quick with either one if somebody knows what the hell they're doing. So, and I know people that'll spend $300 on a knife, but then will pay $100 for a knife training course, and I'm like, it don't make no sense to me.
So at any age you can train. Okay, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Hey, Rip Curl, good to see you. Rip Curl is working out. He's been working out on his channel, and he's ripping it now. Now he's really Rip Curl. So he's getting in good shape. And he and I, we both go to the same type of gym. I noticed the gym is purple, right? Yeah, we go to the same gym. But I'm happy to see you here, brother. Yeah, happy to see you. And so at any age, you can practice self-defense. Okay. Am I is a person too old to learn to kick? Some people, I've had friends of mine who asked me, said, "Yo, X, I can't kick like you can kick. I'm not going to learn that because I'm too old." Well, no, that's bullshit. Why? If you can kick a person from the groin down, then that's all you need. All right, in the street, don't try any fancy high kick. I can kick high. Let me see. Can you guys? Let's see. Let's see if we can. There we go. Ahead. Ready? Ready? I'm not sure if you guys got to see that, but
Go do it again, so I can make you full screen. There you go. Now they'll be able to see it. I took me a minute to get it full screen. There you go. Yes, sir.
So that little red ball there is the height of my head.
Nice work, brother. Nice work.
I'm not sure if you got to see it.
Yeah, that was excellent work. And like you said, the low kicks have more power.
But that's all bullshit. What I just did.
Yeah, the low kicks have more power.
Don't do this in the street. That's just for the camera. I did that on the short video just to get subscribers. I got like 5,000 views and a whole bunch of thumbs up because they see that fancy thing, kick, which doesn't work in the street. This is what works in the street. You see it? All
Yeah.
right. I got to tie my shoelaces. It got untied. All right. You want to throw low kicks. The targets are the solar plexus, the groin, the kneecap, the shin, the ankle, and the foot. This is all you need to kick. So, no excuses. You say, oh, I'm old, I can't. You only need one or two kicks. Forget about any of those fancy kicks, even a roundhouse kick. Okay? That's for the gym. That's for the ring, for MMA. In the street, you want to throw a front kick. Okay? Whether it's off with whichever leg. Now, you can throw that front kick and hit with the ball of your foot. Or you can hit with the side of your foot, like that, and stop an opponent. You go low. Let's say I'm going for the knees, okay? This bag is 200 pounds. Very, very heavy. See that? I guarantee you that any of those kicks will break anybody's legs.
That's a lot of power. People don't realize hitting that 200-pound bag, like, that's a lot of power behind that kick. The camera don't do it justice, but that'll put any grown man down. You hit them in the solar plex with that kick, they're going down. And, you know, a good old pair of steel-toed boots and a shin kick with bad intentions, that's going to hurt real bad.
Woo! There you go.
Good work, man.
So, yeah. You know, a lot of stuff that they teach you in karate classes, you're not going to use in the street. Learn to throw a low kick. Stretch every day. Stretch your legs, and you'll be able to throw those low kicks. Sorry to get dark out here a little bit. What to say? Keep it simple. And always remember the tools there are no rules. Very good, GOAT. Very good. There are no rules in the street, bro. No rules. All right? That's why if you want to get rid of an opponent, you have to learn to go for the eyes and go for the throat. Go for the kneecaps. You have to take them down. You have to really hurt that person, unfortunately. Okay? So I don't practice any longer throwing fancy high kicks. All that stuff don't work. All right?
And if you have a blade, you know, that is so effective. People underestimate a blade, man. If somebody pulls a blade on you, if you have an option, you run. Because, man, you know, when a professional knife fighter gets in a fight with another professional knife fighter, one of them's getting cut up real bad and the other one is getting carted away.
I'm going to show you guys how to stand. If you're fighting, other people don't teach you this. You know who taught me this? Sammy Franco. And I'm going to show you the proper stance with a knife. If you're going to fight somebody, let's say you have a knife and he's got a knife. This is how you stand. This is the stance. This is the stance. Not this. No. This is the stance. You're covering your face. You're covering all of your vital areas here. And your knife is in your strong hand. I'm right-handed. I have my knife in my right hand. And this is the knife. Now, my main target are two main targets. One is his hand, his knife hand. Okay, so you're here. You have to learn the sidestep. Go backwards, sidestep. You're trying to attack his knife hand. As he's coming in with his knife hand, you want to cut that hand off. And then you want to follow through with your other attack. But this is your stance. Always keep your elbow here and cover your face and all of your vital areas. And that's how you stand.
Yeah, again, you stand behind your blade. You like a porcupine. You stand behind it. You got more reach, and you keep. It's like a shield, you know.
Exactly.
And you're using, and this is like a shield. And then you got your out there to work with. You got the reach.
Exactly. And then in a knife fight, the most important thing is footwork. Don't stumble on your own feet. Don't trip on your own feet. If you don't practice footwork, going back and forth, you know what I do when I go to the gym? After every time I lift weights, after I do a rep, I walk around the gym. And then I walk around backwards. And the guys are looking at me and say, what the fuck's this guy doing? Walking around backwards and doing this shit backwards. I'm used to walking backwards. I'm used to jolting backwards. I'm used to running backwards while facing you, okay? And while looking backwards at the same time. Remember, in the streets, it might not just be one opponent. There's always going to be somebody behind your back. Always assume there's somebody behind your back. There's never one person. Always assume there's two people. Always assume that your opponent has a weapon. Always assume he has a weapon. Now, I'm going to show you guys something. On YouTube, they teach you this. Defensive move. It's like the shell, like a turtle shell defensive move. And it's very dangerous. And I'm going to tell you why. It does work. Okay? And I'll tell you how it works. Here you go. Somebody's going to throw you a punch, right? And this is what you do. You've seen that before, right? Boom.
Yeah.
Come in with the elbow. But guess what? What if the guy had a knife in his hand and you didn't see it? And you blocked here and he came from behind you and he cut you. Always assume your opponent has a weapon. Don't block with two hands. You block with one hand only, one arm. Boom. So you can counterattack with the other. Don't do this. Don't do this turtle shit. That doesn't work. You're going to get hurt doing that. If that guy had a knife in his hands, he's going to slice you on the way back over here. Okay, so that's another thing. Always block with one arm or one hand. Learn your blocks are very simple. First of all, you have to be in this stance all the time. That's the stance, not this. None of that shit, okay? You don't want to fight. You want everybody around you to say, hey, this guy did not want to fight. He was on the defensive, okay? But your stance is offensive, 100% offensive. Your hands are up. You're ready to strike. Your hands, never put your hands down. If your hands are down here, if your opponent is arguing with you and your hands are down here, boom, you're going to get knocked out. Always, hey, man, come on, dude, I don't need no problems, bro. Forget about it. You win, okay? I'm an idiot. Goodbye. Take it easy. But the moment he comes close to you, boom, boom, you're striking him. You're striking him first. Once he's within your range, you're going to step back away from the range. Never let nobody come into within your punching or kicking range. Never. Okay? But what you do is you step back and you try to stop the fight. But once he comes into your space and he's here, okay, your hands are here. The closest, you use your hands to the closest target, which is going to be his face. You want to headhunt him at that point, okay? Yeah, you can throw a low kick and hit him low and then come down high. That combination is very difficult to stop. But you want to go for the head. You want to go for the bridge of the nose with your hammer fist. If you really want to take that person out, you can chin jab him. Chin jab. Boom. While you hold the back of the hand, neck, then you chin jab him. Or you gouge him, or you go for the throat. Just like that. Just like that. Or you punch him in the throat. You go for the throat. So, where's Ernie? You still here with me?
Yeah, I'm here. I agree with you 100%, bro. Now I'm just giving you the full screen where you're demonstrating so they can see it.
Yeah. So, but besides all that, folks, the world is dangerous, man. Remember that all the bad guys are carrying something. That's what makes them bad guys. You think that these guys are weaponless? They have no weapons on them? No, they all have something. Knife attacks are on the rising. People are getting stabbed every day. You have to practice against knife attacks. Although the first thing you need to do is try to run away from it or walk away from it. You can't run, then walk, whatever the hell. If you can't get away from it, you better learn how to stop it, okay? And this is the one time that you will use two hands to stop the attack. If somebody's throwing a punch at you or a kick at you, you're using one hand. But if somebody's is going to stab you, you're using both hands. You're going to use it like this. See that? You're going to stop that. You have to stop that knife hand. You have to grab that knife hand with that V formation in your hand, like this. Okay? And that's very important. And the way you do that is you have to learn how to sidestep. It's all footwork. You have to learn how to sidestep, and you need practice. You need a partner with a rubber knife trying to stab your ass, and you're trying to stop it. That's the only way to practice that. Only way.
Never train with a real blade. Someone will get hurt.
Never.
Someone will definitely get hurt. Never train with a live blade. But man, you're 100% on point. A tactical light, a necklace knife, but trade that paracord out for dog tag chain. That way,
I will.
That way, because I'm telling you, get a guy like me. You know, think about it. You grab a hold of that paracord, and you can just come from behind them, and man, good night. But a necklace knife, you can get past so much security because I'm one of the very few bouncers that check there.
You know, sometimes you get people really crazy, right? They're on some kind of drug or they're drunk and shit like that, and their attack is going to be so fast and so vicious, running towards you, that you won't have time to think, I'm going to do this technique, I'm going to do that, I'm going to run. You're not going to do shit, because if a person's coming at you like this, see that? Boom! He's coming down with that punch at you. What do? Only one thing that I know how to do, and I learned this also from my man, Sammy Franco, Contemporary Fighting Arts System. You guys can find them on YouTube. And it's called The Web. And what you're doing is you're stopping your opponent dead in his tracks by hitting him with a web, two hands, straight into his face, like a ramming rod. He won't be able to stop it. The punch will go over you, and you will ram right through him like a ramming rod, like a goat, like a ram, like this. Whoa! See that? Whoa! That's how you stop a vicious attack when somebody's coming at you real fast. That's how you stop them. Don't try to think about anything else, okay? And your hands are going to be like this. Okay, when you're trying to stop a knife, it's going to be like this. But when you're doing the web, your finger's going to be over here. Your thumb's going to be at where your small finger is, and you're creating a web that's going right into the person's face. Boom! And you step into it, and you put your weight into it. Boom! And you extend your arms all the way out, and you lock your arms right into his face. Boom! Just like that. That's the web. That's an incredible, incredible move to stop a person who's bum rushing you and wants to knock your ass out. Okay, so you can learn all this stuff. I'm not taking credit for this. Yeah, I'm a lifetime martial artist who's still training and currently training on the Contemporary Fighting Arts System. Soon, I believe
the best fighters always remain a student.
Yes. Yes.
Always remain a student.
I am a student for life. You know, I will never be too proud to learn from anyone, even a younger man. You know, us older guys. I was in the gym the other day, right? And I see this kid. Man, he's built. He's cut out like a strong kid. Almost like my kid, but not as big as my son. But anyway, he's doing this crazy exercise. And I'm looking at him, and he looked at me. He said, "Hey, have you ever done this before?" And I said, "No." So he taught me the exercise. The kid must have been 17 years old. You know, I'm a grandpa. I'm not too proud to learn from anybody. Now he and I are good friends. I'm so happy that he taught me that. So yeah, you know, you never stop learning, guys. You never stop learning. You got to practice every day, though. Every day. Otherwise, if your body can't do what your mind wants it to do, you're in trouble. What are you going to do?
It's got to be muscle memory, because in a combat situation, if you think your mind can keep up with what's going down, you have already lost.
You know,
it's got to be a natural reaction. And you get that from training.
Exactly. It has to be trained. Every soldier trains every day. Okay? Yep. Every soldier strengthens his body every day. You have to. Otherwise, you're going to die. You're going to become a victim out there. Okay? And so now we all have to become soldiers. Why? The world we're at the precipice of World War III. It might happen within the next 2 weeks. Trump gave Iran 2 weeks. I thank God that he didn't pull the trigger just yet. But can we just be preparing? Maybe in the next 2 weeks, we do attack Iran. Iran's not going to go down without a fight. I see all this fake news out there that we're destroying Iran, we're doing this, we're doing that. Dude, let me tell you something, okay? They got Russia, North Korea. North Korea said we will back them up. North Korea has a big-ass army. Who knows if we could even take North Korea? All right, maybe we can. We're the strongest. All right, we're the best. We're the best. But when they all gang up on us, we ain't going to have a chance. And that's number one. Number two, they might probably just, if I were them, just turn off the electricity. You know, power grid, goodbye. No electricity. And now what? We're fighting against each other. Or what? What if we start a stupid civil war over this deportation BS? If you're not American, you weren't born here. If you were from my country, my ancestors' country, okay? I'm sorry. I love you, but come in the legal way. Go back to Sicily. back to Spain, if you feel that if you identify yourself as an Italian American, a Polish American, an African American, a Mexican American, then go back to that country. I identify myself as American only. And this is the problem. We have to stand together. Why are we fighting, separating each other over race when we have other problems, international problems with these countries? We shouldn't have a problem. We should not be attacking Iran. Okay? You know how I've been hearing this for 30 years. They're so close to nuclear weapons. We have to get them. Same thing happened in the other country. What the hell was Syria, right? Weapons of mass destruction. And in the meantime, guys, little children are getting killed. This is what really hurts me. Children are getting killed and starved. You know how they're killing them? Yeah, that's what they're doing to these kids. God will not forgive that. God will not forgive that. I am so against what you guys are doing over there. Both sides. Both sides. Both sides. And it has nothing to do with America. Okay? Trump, you said you were going to keep us out. Keep us out. I voted for your ass. And I'm telling you one thing. You're not getting my son. My boy's 22 years old. And he and I will stand for ours here in our country. You understand that? We're not leaving. We the people own this country. Not you political Lindsey Graham pieces of garbage, man. That's what you guys are. All you want is war for money. Because war makes money. You don't end to take over. A lot of oil over there, right? Now, hey, we don't need it. We have more oil than anybody else in the world. Yeah, BS, right? I don't know, man. Mosquitoes are out here getting me now. But, yeah, you guys need to prepare because the shit's going to hit the fan soon. And even locally, with protests and stuff like that, if you don't train on your self-defense, you know, you're going to be in jeopardy. Put away some water. Put away some food. Don't procrastinate anymore. A lot of people procrastinating. Are you going to wait till the end? What are you going to do? Go buy a whole bunch of toilet paper? Dude, you should be ready by now.
Little Miss Prepper, we're getting ready right now. She's behind the scenes doing behind the scenes work. I'm getting my house in order. We are getting ready just in case. And get you some gas as long as you can safely store it.
That's right. That's right. Because the price of gas is about to go bananas.
Yep. Because all the oil refineries that got hit, and they're going to look for, they look for any excuse to raise the prices. That's just the way this works.
Right.
It's all about money. The war machine is just money. All them weapons, money.
It's all about money, brother. Money and destruction and power. And these people worship the devil because anybody who can kill human beings, innocent human beings, especially children and old people. That's what really pisses me off. Why can't these guys go to a neutral ground and kill each other and leave the old people and the kids alone? Why don't they do that? Because they're a bunch of pussies. Because they're a bunch of low. I don't know what to call them. Because they hide behind children and innocent people. And knowing that they're going to get attacked. So it's the devil is ruling the world. We all know that the devil is ruling the world until Jesus Christ comes back. And Jesus Christ is coming back very soon. He's not happy at what we're doing here on earth. I had to leave the back, guys, because it's so dark. It's pitch dark out here now. Here you go. I got some light here. Whew.
Next time we do a live, I'm going to have you up in your tree stand so we can see your view. You got you a sniper's nest up there, buddy.
It'd be a pleasure, brother. It'd be a pleasure.
Definitely. So we'll schedule another live here real soon, man. We'll do these on the regular, man. You got a lot of stuff to teach. And like I said, go up there in your deer stand, have your phone set up, pop a few rounds down at your target, show how we do it, because that's why another reason I like hunting with a bow, because I can take out a nice deer and just sit and wait, and another one will probably come along. If you use something that goes boom, you just scared them away for a freaking 5-mile square area, man.
I did that once, Ernie. I took 2 does in one afternoon. I did that once. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, because they don't hear that bow go off. Not really. And you just sit there and wait, and you're liable to get you another one. Liable to get one even bigger.
I know you might. This might sound crazy, but I think I just saw a bear cross the road, real quick.
It was. Hey, we got a lot of.
Yeah, we got a lot of bear here. And I could have sworn that it was too big to be anything else. So it was a bear.
Well, get your knife, go down there and get you a bear coat and get it on video.
I done did that once, Ernie. About 5 years ago, I took a bear that came onto my property. I tried to scare it away, and he wouldn't go. It was the last day of bear season, and I took him with my bow. Yeah. All right, it's getting dark, so I'm coming into my bunker. Hang on.
All right, brother. Well, I guess we'll reschedule another live, and I appreciate everyone being here and you showing us some, man. I 100% agree with your self-defense methods. So I fully endorse those methods. And everybody should practice, but I guess we'll let everybody get some rest, or you can do your thing and all. Because like I said, I'm getting my house in order for this shit show. It looks like it's coming this way. I hope these fools put the brakes on it, man, because there's nothing glorious about war, man. It's just savagery, and so just hope for the best, and expect the worst and hope for the best. That's all we can do.
That's it, my brother. And it's been great coming onto your live chat. I appreciate you. Hello, Holly. Holly Ivans. She's a sister of mine. She's such a good person. And prepare to stay ready for whatever comes your way. Always, everybody. God bless you all. Love you. And All American Prepper. We'll be talking, my brother. We'll be talking.
All right, brother. Y'all have a blessed evening. Thank you, XOG. And y'all make sure y'all subscribe to that man's channel. Good man.
Pleasure's mine. Thank you. Good night, everybody.